All right, welcome in once more. We are going to talk today about composite transformations. Basically, a composite transformation is when you do one transformation and then do another. And you could even do another after that, but it's more than one transformation. So this guy goes from, the original is right here. This is our original. This is our first image, and this is our second image. Okay? So what are the transformations? So what's the rule when I go from ABC to A prime, B prime, C prime, to A double prime, B double prime, C double prime? Okay? So let's see. It looks like the first one, when I go from A to A prime, that looks like it's just a reflect across y-axis. Right? Because I'm going here to here, B is 3, 5, negative 3, 5. So that means my xy is going to become negative x comma y. All right? Now, the way that we do that is we say, okay, this negative xy, this now is what we're going to call x prime, y prime. Okay? So x prime equals negative x, y prime equals y. Now, our second transformation from A prime to A double prime, now it looks like we're just reflecting across the x-axis. So here we reflect across the x-axis. And in that case, we know the rule for reflect across x-axis. xy becomes x comma negative y. All right? Now, but this isn't xy anymore. This is actually x prime, y prime. So it's going to be x prime negative y prime. That's what our new points are. And we could even call these, that would be x double prime, y double prime. All right? So now we have to do substitution to trace back to find what our true transformation is for the composite rule. So I've got x prime here, but I know that x prime is equal to negative x. So this is my final rule down here. I know that x prime is negative x. This is x prime, so that means that this is negative x. And I've got negative y prime. Well, y prime is equal to y, so that is just negative y. So this is minus x minus y is our final rule. And we can see that this is 4, 2. This is minus 4, minus 2. This is 3, 5, minus 3, minus 5. So kind of hard to see. I hope that came through on your version of the image, but that's what it is. So we look at the first step. We come up with what is our x prime, y prime in terms of the original xy, and then we apply the second transformation to get a final x and y, which is essentially x double prime, y double prime. So, and then we go back and substitute back in. So we know that x prime is negative x. So because I've got x prime here, that becomes negative x. We know that y prime is y. So it's negative y prime, which makes it negative y. So that's my final transformation. Example 2. Looks like I'm going, this is our original. This is our original. And this is our first image. And this is our second image. Okay? So it looks like, so I've got minus 5, 4. I've got 5, 4. I've got minus 10, minus 3. I've got 10, minus 3. So from E to E prime, this is just a reflect over y-axis. So we know that rule, x, y, is going to be minus x comma y. All right? So again, this is our x prime, y prime, our new set of coordinates. X prime is equal to negative x, and y prime is equal to y. So that's our first rule. Our second rule, from E prime to E double prime, and you can see it's got the little drawn in for us here, and so this is actually going to be a rotation. You can see this point is here, and it swings down, and now it's pointing a whole different direction. It is remember our rotations always go counterclockwise. So if I go all the way around counterclockwise, this is a rotation of 270 degrees. And our rule for the 270 degree rotation, x prime, y prime, is going to become y prime, comma, negative x prime. That's our rule. xy becomes y negative x. And you can test it out. xy, so this is 5, negative 1. The corresponding point should be y negative x, so it should be negative 1, negative 5, and so it is. So that checks out, everything checks out there. So now I need to go and substitute back in. Well, I know x prime is equal to negative x. So this is my original xy. Here's my final rule. My original xy is going to become x prime is negative x. So this is negative x prime. So negative x prime is negative negative x. So it's positive x. Goes in my y coordinate. My y coordinate is y prime. Y prime is just y. So this is xy becomes yx. And that's a transformation that we should know. This is xy becomes yx. This final transformation is actually a reflection across y equals x. And if I were to sketch in my line y equals x right here, I could see that it is a reflection across that line. All right. If that all makes sense, pause the video if you need to look at it. Try the one on the back first yourself before resorting to watching me do it. All right, and we're back. Example 3. Check it out. The rules they follow the order. So here this says, hey, if I did right 3, down 5, followed by a reflection over the x-axis. So I start here, I go right 3, down 5, and then I reflect. It gives me this shape right here. What if I did them in the opposite order? What if I first reflect over y-axis and then do right 3, down 5? It's going to give me a different location for the shape. So the order is very important. The order matters. Okay? Last thing, we got 4 of these here. I would invite you to do them all on your own. I'm going to go through them, but pause in between to see if you can get it right. So we're going to consider all of our rules. What are our rules that we do? And so let's see, I've got 4, negative 6 becomes negative 6, 4. Well, in this case, I've just switched places. All right? So this is my xy becomes yx. All right? So again, I'm going to say x prime, y prime. So now my x prime, y prime looks like this one's going to be a translation because it's changing coordinates altogether. So this is x prime minus 6 to minus 3 is up 3. And y prime is from 4 to 9, so it's plus 5. So that means that my final rule is xy becomes x prime plus 3. But x prime is y, so this is y plus 3. Y prime plus 5, y prime is x, so x plus 5. That's my final rule. I can check it. This one should be y plus 3. My original y is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. That's what I got here. This is x plus 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. So boom, there it goes. So that's my final rule. Okay? Try each of them on your own, see what you get. Okay, B, I got negative 1, 7 to negative 7, negative 1. So I've got the same x here. So this xy has become, this is the same x here, but this is negative y. So it's negative y comma x. We know that means a rotation of 90 degrees. But again, this is x prime, this is y prime. So now looking here, I've got x prime is negative 7. That's the same thing here. And this y prime is negative 1 becomes 1, so that's negative y prime. So it's first a rotation of 90 degrees, and the next one, when the y changes, it's a reflection across the x-axis. So my final rule, xy, let's see. I've got x prime. X prime is equal to negative y. So this is negative y. And I've got negative y prime. Well, y prime is x, so this is negative x. So my xy becomes negative y, negative x. That's my final rule. All right? Let's see here. On C, this first one is it's either translation, it's a translation. So this xy becomes x plus 5, y plus 9. All right, so that x prime, y prime is going to, it looks like they just both changed signs, so minus x prime minus y prime. Okay, so my final rule, xy, I've got negative x prime is x plus 5, so this is minus x minus 5. It's negative all of that. And then this is negative y minus 9. And again, check it. Minus x minus 5 is minus 5 minus 5, which is minus 10. Minus y minus 9 is minus 9 minus 9, which is minus 18. All right. Okay, last one. This is, this could be any number of things because it's just a single point and one of the points is 0. But let's assume this is xy. Let's assume I've got the same x and I've got negative y. All right. This could be negative x, negative y. This could be a translation of 4 units up. It could be either of those. So we don't really know. But this is one possibility, x prime, y prime then. Now this is definitely a translation. This is x prime plus 5, and y prime from 2 to minus 3 is minus 5. So then my final rule for the final one is x comma y is going to become, I've got x prime plus 5, x prime is just x, so this is x plus 5, and y prime minus 5, y prime is minus y, so minus y minus 5 is my final rule. And lickety split, that is composite transformation.